Namaskar and welcome to Gurukuli School. My name is Nikita Acharya, and in today's video we are going to discuss two of the very important terms in measurement, that is accuracy and precision. And we are also going to learn a little about the different types of errors in measurements. Now, if you remember the previous content, while discussing about the atomic clock and the unit second for time, I mentioned that even when we use an atomic clock to keep time, we might gain or lose 3 microseconds every year. Or in other words, there is an uncertainty in measurement which is plus minus 1 into 10 to the power minus 13 for an atomic clock. What exactly is this uncertainty? Whenever we use an instrument to measure any physical quantity, there is going to be some uncertainty in our measurement, and this uncertainty is called as an error. As human, it is not possible for us to make exact measurements every time. Even when we measure the same quantity over and over again, we might get different results. This is because our measurements are not perfect, and there is always some error which gives rise to uncertainty in that particular measurement. And since we cannot make perfect measurements, our measurements can either be accurate or precise. So let's see what these terms mean. Accuracy, in simplest words, is a measure of how close the measured value is to the true value of the quantity. For example, let's say the true value or the true length in our case of a particular item is 5 meters. Person A measures this length as 4.7 meters, while another person, let's say B, measures it as 5.4 meters. To find out which measurement is more accurate, we find the difference between the measured and the true value of the quantity. So for the first person, that is A, we get 0.3 meters, and for B we get 0.4 meters. And since 0.3 is less than 0.4, therefore 4.7 is more accurate than 5.4 meters. Similarly, the next term is precision. It tells us to what resolution or limit a particular quantity is measured. For example, consider the speed of light. Now, originally we know that speed of light is 2.9979248 into 10 to the power 8 meters. But what we do is, for the simplicity of calculations, most of the time we take the speed of light as 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Since the original value is expressed up to 8 decimal places, this quantity is precise. Whereas the other one that we use, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, is a rounded off value. Let's take a simple example of comparison to better understand this concept of accuracy and precision. Suppose the diameter of, let's say, a small metallic ball is 5.6768 millimeters. Now we can either use a vernier caliper or we can use a screw gauge to measure this diameter, right? So for a screw gauge, we know that the least count is 0.01 millimeter, while that of a vernier caliper is 0.1 millimeter. And let's say the measured values in the first case comes out to be 5.45 millimeter, and in case of vernier caliper we measure a value of 5.7 millimeter. Now if you want to find the accuracy, what do you have to do? Subtract the measure value from the true value. So if you do that and compare, you can easily see that the difference is less in case of a vernier. So obviously a vernier caliper in this case has a higher accuracy. But at the same time, the resolution in case of a screw gauge is lower, meaning more decimal places. So a screw gauge will have higher precision. So the basic conclusion out of this is that all measurements have some or the other kind of error or uncertainty. No measurement is perfect, and hence it is important to study about the different kind of error in measurement, which brings us to our next topic, that is types of errors. Now, there are numerous ways to classify, quantize, numerically derive errors in measurements, but broadly, errors can be classified as either systematic or random. Systematic errors can be further divided into 3 subtypes, that is instrumental errors, imperfections in experimental technique or procedure, and personal errors. But what exactly are systematic and random errors? Systematic errors, as the name suggests, are consistent. That is, they are either positive or negative errors. In other words, systematic errors tend to be in one direction. The first subcategory under systematic errors is instrumental errors. These are the kind of errors which are associated mostly with the design and calibration of measuring instrument. They usually have little or nothing to do with the user. For example, zero error in an instrument or the wearing and tearing of instruments might give rise to such errors. Second one under this category is imperfection in experimental technique and procedure. It is always important to follow rules and procedures while taking any measurement, because if you do not follow the rules properly, there is a high chance that your experiment will give you erroneous results. For example, if you place a thermometer under the armpit, it will always show you a temperature that is less than the actual body temperature. So it is kind of a systematic error since it tends to be in one direction. The third subcategory is personal errors, like for example parallax error. These mostly arise due to individuals' bias, lack of proper setting of apparatus, or individuals' carelessness in taking observations without observing proper precautions. Now obviously measurements are characterized by errors, so it is not possible for us on a general basis to make perfect measurements. However, we can always take some precautions to minimize the errors. So in case of systematic errors, to minimize, we can use better experimental techniques, like follow the procedures thoroughly, take care of experimental conditions. We can select better instruments that do not have significant zero errors and are in better condition, and we can also remove our personal bias or carelessness as far as possible. Now the second type of error that we usually come across are the random errors. There are few points that you need to remember in case of random errors. First, they occur irregularly, meaning that they can be either positive or they can be negative, they can be in millimeters or centimeters. That is, the size and sign are completely random and hence the name random errors. Most of these random errors arise due to unpredictable fluctuations in experimental conditions. It suddenly starts raining outside, the temperature will drop, right? Or there is a voltage fluctuation, or maybe your experimental setup is disturbed somehow. All of these will come under random errors. Although sometimes they can also be as a result of personal errors, and these errors are then concerned purely with the individual taking the reading. You can observe that even while repeating certain readings under the same condition, you are getting different results. Now besides systematic and random errors, there is another type of error known as the least count error. The smallest value that can be measured using an instrument is its least count, right? So it basically talks about the resolution of the instrument. Since this error is consistent with the design of the instrument but is not subjected to all the instruments, it can be both a random or a systematic error. Hence it does not belong to either one of these categories. And the only way to remove these kind of errors is to use a good instrument with higher precision and properly follow the experimental techniques. So in today's video, we learned about two very significant terms in measurement, that is accuracy and precision. Then we broadly classified the errors into two types. We discussed the various subcategories under systematic errors. We looked at the important points of random errors, and we learned about the least count error. That is all for today. In the next video, we will learn how to numerically express these errors.